much for joining us tonight on Living Room Live. I'm Lauren Kennedy Brady, of course, the producer of Theater Raleigh and your host for Living Room Live. And you have tuned in on an incredible night because you're going to hear some killer singing. I cannot wait for you to hear our guest tonight. I know I'm gonna have a front row seat. I'm blown away already. He's an old friend. I've heard him 1,000 times, but it never gets old. Ladies and gentlemen, you are gonna hear Dan Callaway sing tonight. But before that, we also have an old friend of mine as well. Jason Steele is with us to talk about his illustrious career, telling people what to do with their money. And also he has started a new company called Bull and Bear Brew, which is about drinking what makes you savvy. So I wanna know how coffee is gonna make me smarter. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so this is our anniversary episode, you guys, of Living Room Live. We started this thing on March 24th, a year ago. And we've come a long way, I have to say, from my living room to this living room that we made for you. So thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with us and loving live theater first and foremost. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And like I said, we're in the new Theater Raleigh Arts Center, which is very exciting. And another way that we have been pivoting and getting through this time is since we've had this space, we're able to offer it to other companies and do rentals. And we've had some amazing groups come in over the last few weeks. So I want to give you a little show of who's been in here. Roll tape.
Thank you for opening your arms to us and making this available to us. We were having a mid-year meeting. Jeff and I think of ourselves as performers a little bit too.
I can
and
see
so this
that.
is the perfect venue for us to be in, to be able to pull that off.
Feels good to be on stage, right?
Yeah.
Talking about the friendship train. Get on board and shake a hand. People listen to me now. Harmony is the key. My sisters and brothers, yes it is. I'm telling you, harmony.
Nhớ mãi mấy tình của mẹ quê nấu sông của người em mơ mộng. Và chiều vàng ngát mênh mông là chiều ngày ấy sang sông em chờ trông.
Just like a moon, it was just like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were
It wasn't easy trying to find a venue that was both safe and a venue that we feel we could give back to the community. And not just the performing arts, which is important to us, but also, you know, Patrick has a son that's active in the performing arts, and we really believe in allowing those things to continue to progress under the circumstances that we face.
But it's been really fun, and I appreciate so much your commitment to supporting the arts in this area and local businesses. We all got to stick together, right?
Absolutely.
100%. We appreciate yours as well, and
Thank you.
happy to be able to utilize such a great facility.
Well, I hope you'll come back. So I am super proud of some of the things we've been able to do and the companies we've been able to partner with during this time. Like you saw in that video, everything from a corporate meeting to a children's theater to dance studio to the Vietnamese New Year. It's just been so incredible to get to know this community through this arts center. So if you are interested in renting a space here at Theater Raleigh, let us know. You can always check us out at rentals@theaterraleigh.com. And we have practice rooms, we have rehearsal studios, we have large performance spaces. We would love to have you here with us. What my dream is to create an arts incubator where we're all in this room creating art together, or in this space. So check us out. And as you saw, a little baby flash of what we have coming up at Theater Raleigh, which is our 2021 season. We are going to be back on track in July to do our season, which we had planned for 2020, but now we are going to push it to 2021. Starting in July, we're going to start with Oh, What a Night, Into the Breaches, Fun Home, followed up by Piece of Clay in Chicago. You do not want to miss those shows. It's going to be great. We're going to be able to socially distance people here in this venue. So come check us out. It's going to be awesome, and we'd love to have the patrons back in the room with us as well. Okay, what else do I have to talk about? I want to thank from the bottom of my heart First Citizens. They are our virtual theater experience sponsor. We couldn't do it without them. They have been with us the entire time. Their support has meant the world to us, so thank you, First Citizens. And thank you, patrons, for tuning in. And if you would like to donate to Theater Raleigh, we could still use your help. So you can go to theaterraleigh.com to donate. And of course, while you're here on YouTube, might as well subscribe to our channel to see all the things that we have coming up. Some cool shows coming up, which I'll announce at the very end. But while you are here tonight, as you are here to see an incredible performance by an incredible man, and I'm getting ready to bring him out. His name is Dan Callaway. You know him, you love him. He is a North Carolina native. He is currently serving at Elon in the music theater program. His theater credits include the Broadway National Tour of Phantom of the Opera, Where's Charley with City Center Encores, The Pirates of Penzance at the Guthrie Theater, Pippin at Deaf West Theater at the Mark Taper Forum, directed by Jeff Calhoun, My Fair Lady at Sacramento Music Circus, Spamalot and Sweeney Todd, where he got an LA Ovation nomination for Best Featured Actor in a Musical. He also was in One Touch of Venus with Lost Musicals in London. And since he's moved back to North Carolina, Dan has appeared with Theater Raleigh in Carousel, Lombardi, and Light in the Piazza, as well as being featured in the acting role in Carolina Ballet's Don Quixote. They didn't let him dance. He also performed as George in Sunday in the Park with George for the North Carolina Summer Rep, and he appeared as Emile DeBeck in South Pacific and the Padre in Man of La Mancha, both at Triad Stage. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Dan Callaway. Hi. Oh,
Hey.
The room applauds. See, it's a live audience.
Absolutely.
Don't you feel like you're on Jimmy Kimmel?
Just like it.
Just in a pretty blue dress. Did you like how I said Triad Stage?
Try. It was a little Moira Rose.
It was a little, I swallowed. Didn't go like I had planned.
I know that feeling so well.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great.
You look great.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy to see you.
Same here.
Like this time at home with your beautiful wife and 2 boys, I guess has been okay because you look healthy and happy.
It's been
Right.
the silver lining.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you're searching for the silver lining, but tell me what you've been doing and how you've been managing through.
Well, we've been really lucky and blessed. We've been able to work out work schedules so that we can be at home with the boys.
Yeah.
We have Jude, who's 1, and Noah, who's 2.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
So I can't believe you have like less hair.
So they are simultaneously the joy of my life, and they elicit words and emotions from me that I didn't know were present until they came out.
Good and bad.
So-
It's so true. You don't even know until you have a child. You're like, I didn't know there was this kind of love. Like I didn't even know that.
That's right.
Yeah, and this kind of like fatigue.
Absolutely, utter exhaustion. But it's been really sweet, and it's funny. I pulled out an old journal because I actually, speaking of parent life, I had to chase my 1-year-old across the parking lot to grab him to put him back in the car. And while I had done that, I put my bullet journal on top of our car, which I forgot that I had done that.
Got it.
But I rescued the child. And
More
then-
important.
Absolutely, priorities. And then
As the journal flies off, right?
well, I didn't know that. I didn't see the journal fly off until later. I was like,
Where's that?
where's my life in a book? and so if people know Greensboro, it was on Holden Road and Bryan Boulevard, which in like 47 different pieces. So I was.
Oh gosh.
I know. So it was like completely decimated. But I started telling. So the next day I was like, I pulled out an old journal that I had gotten from Melissa a few years ago that we were going to write our family dreams in and things. And so of course it was like the first 3 pages were written and then the rest was blank. But we wrote dreams in those first 3 pages. And I took it out, and there were about 14 things written, and 7 of those things had come to pass. And I hadn't even looked at this journal, but and one of them was more time at home together.
Oh.
So.
Well, that's great. You're going at 50%. I mean, 7 out of 14, that's pretty good.
I know. Well, the other ones included travel, so.
Okay, well, no, it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm.
So, absolutely. So, those are, but I thought that was so interesting to me to see just the power of writing something down.
Yes,
And,
how you're able to manifest it.
yeah.
I believe in that.
I
I
do
think
too.
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
You are really a shining example of that, and what you've done in your life and in your career and your teaching as well. I mean, I'm sure that's something that you teach to your students as well at Elon. If you dream it, you can be it, right? I think that's such a great thing to offer.
I think so.
Like I said, you are a shining example of that. I mean, you have worked in New York, you've worked in LA with incredible people. So what made you decide to teach? Were you doing it alongside of it, or was it your side hustle for a while?
I've always loved teaching.
Uh-huh.
I never saw it as a possible career path. Academia didn't seem. I don't know, it was just funny. I had insecurities about my ability to teach.
Okay.
So I started teaching a class in Los Angeles and started to realize that I was talented at communicating vocal technique.
Yeah.
And so it became, from there I started to realize that.
Hey, this is a thing.
Yeah.
So in terms of being able to explain how to make the sounds and where to put it, I mean, also, I'm sure there's a lot of value in people being able to imitate you too.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't even know if you promote that, but I always know that if I can hear somebody do it, I might be able to have a better chance at taking a crack at it.
I definitely demonstrate, but so my voice teacher at Elon, Kathy McNeil, who started the program, she didn't sing a note.
Oh, interesting.
Because she had teachers that that wanted to, I think, mold her, and
Sure.
so she never sang a note.
Interesting.
And so, I have found for me that demonstrating is really helpful, but with the
caveat,
the specific knowledge that this is my voice making this sound,
right?
And this is a way that my voice can do this. How can your voice do that?
Right.
But I find it helpful too, because I think that we don't realize the sounds we make are all based on imitation.
Yeah, of course.
And we tell these artists, like, where is your
what's
your
my
authentic
voice? What's my voice? I'm like, well, I've been listening to Celine Dion my whole life, so it was pretty much her, but just not near as good.
But it's exactly that, being conscious of your influences. That's what I tell my students. I mean, when I actually downloaded that piece of advice, I was like, authentic to you.
Yeah, because you would be drawn to something like, oh, I can do that.
Right.
Maybe I can do that. Yeah, that's so interesting. I found that when teachers would demonstrate things for me, and by the way, I took for years from a man, but he had great freedom, and he had great fearlessness when he sang, and I was like, yes, I'm going to do that. And so I loved having somebody represent to me. Yeah, it's interesting.
I think as long as you're invested in in the one you're teaching.
That's right, and not just being like, do like me. Yeah. So you teach voice there. Do you do anything else? Any other classes, or is it just mainly vocal studio?
I teach. I have a full vocal studio. I also teach a really great class, musical theater literature.
Oh, wow.
So that's the analysis class. That's their advanced level junior year class. So you're getting into text, script, musical analysis, all of that. So and they have a really major project that they do where they do a deep dive analysis on a show and present it. So
oh, cool. They get to choose their own show. I love it.
So that's a big benchmark class for them. So that's terrific, and it's great how you can analyze a work and see how that serves, all aspects of the work. You as a storyteller, you as a director, whatever, and addressing it from that standpoint, or how the creators might have.
Yeah.
How they develop something. So.
Oh, I think that's great, because, a lot of times students might just be like, I just want to be on stage. But it's awesome and really important to learn sort of the history and how it is to sort of be your own dramaturg as well.
Absolutely. And it was a game changer for me. I took that class because I'm also an alum of Elon.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I read that.
So when I took that class, I didn't know what a motif was, and so Kathy took us through all of the Sondheim musicals and taught
Yeah,
us. And,
Sondheim.
I mean, it blew my mind. I didn't realize that musical theater was literature in that way. So
Recurring themes that help support the story. Now, Sondheim really is. By the way, it's his birthday, as we
Happy
discussed
birthday, Mr.
earlier.
Sondheim.
Happy birthday. He does a lot of those musical motifs, and Andrew Lloyd Webber does the same thing, because it also, if you repeat things, it's easier for the audience to listen to the story, because they can latch onto that melody. It's so interesting, I think. So there is a real craft to it.
Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Exactly.
And also selling sheet music. And that was it was
because it sticks, and you're like, I heard that.
Exactly.
I can't stop singing it.
Because you'd have the tune, and so that was the commercial drive as well. You'd have familiarity, but you would also have the impetus to go buy the sheet music.
Now I just want to take your class, Dan. Now I just want to come do a deep dive into, I don't know, I can't think of a show right now. Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We can talk about ostinato and minor seconds in Lonely Room.
Okay, you lost me. You lost me at ostinato.
That means over and over, and it sounds like obstinate. That's how I tell my students to remember. It sounds like obstinate.
Okay, good.
So,
Good. See, I've learned something. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. You have too also learned something here today. Well, tell me,
I have to say it like this for my wife. It's ostinato. You have to use your nerd voice. To talk
because
about
I'm very
these things.
smart. I know nerdy musical terms.
That's right. So anytime I do that, I have to talk like a nerd.
I love it. Shout out to Melissa. Do you find that your students prefer to talk about like contemporary things, or do they really enjoy going back in time?
They do enjoy going back in time. I learn. I always say teaching every year. I realize I get the privilege of circling back on the path, and so it's just like if I'm walking with my boys, you know how it is. Every little leaf or a piece of bark on a tree, but they see things that I have stopped seeing.
That's true.
And so my students, I try to really be aware. It's like, I've been down this road. These are the things I know.
Right.
And then really listening to the things they notice.
Well,
as they
interesting too,
come
because they're
through.
looking through it. They're looking at it through a new lens too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's interesting. Wow, cool.
And a lot of big conversation this year, absolutely.
Absolutely.
About the
race
canon, where it came from. You know, I usually teach Showboat every year. I left Showboat off. We actually had a really great class this year. Elon produced Kirsten Child's The Bubbly Black Girl Sheds Her Chameleon Skin. Yeah. And we studied that for a couple weeks, and
it's awesome.
I learned a lot.
But because some of it's so outdated, and it's some of it's offensive, but in the time, it's contextualized, and it's interesting for people to go back and study it in a way that feels safe, and that's
absolutely
in a classroom like that. That's cool. It's good for you.
And I mean,
well done.
Yeah, I learn, and I apologize about every 3 weeks. About just because I'm learning. Absolutely.
We all are. We all are. The world is moving very fast, isn't it? And how do you feel about bringing up your boys? Are you going to stay in the South? Are you going to go, up north? What do you see next for Dan Callaway and your family?
TBD.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
We have a lot of.
It's a loaded question. I know.
No, it's a good question. I guess there would be a lot more pages to fill out in that dream journal.
Sure.
And so, but I will say, I have been through a period of my life where I had a very clear plan about what I wanted to do, and when that all fell apart, I remember one thing that I started saying was I would rather have God's surprises than my plans.
Oh, I like that.
And that's been just because I've noticed this a lot. I mean, even just like you texting me to come do this was a surprise, and it's delightful. So I find all of these things that come to me that I just never could have conjured myself. It's like you put in the things, and then so I want to be open to that. Yeah. But definitely, I'd love to work in New York again.
Sure.
And I miss New York. So
I know.
But we'll see. I mean.
Well, we're manifesting right here, right now. Well, I mean, New York is a tough place to bring up children, but I kind of feel like you'll make your life whatever it is, and I believe right now more than ever there's such a responsibility to dedicate to our children.
Absolutely.
And you have sort of setting out a great life for yourself where you can do that. I mean, the fact that you've been able to be at home with your boys in these really precious years and teach on Zoom. I'm sure you did a lot of teaching on Zoom.
A lot of Zoom teaching.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really special time. Yeah.
It's been precious, and I've really cherished it. It's I've heard a lot of people have said that. A friend of mine that I graduated with from Elon, his company went under. He lost his job. He's been home with his daughter, and he's been cherishing this time as he's looking to what might be next.
Yeah.
But just to see these, you just hear about it over and over again. So it does make you think about how you want to shape your life.
That's right.
I say it's like when there are more things that you have a higher chance of probability of being right about predicting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the world was unpredictable anyway. I think now we just see, whoa, it's really that unpredictable.
Yeah, and anything can happen. I mean, I think that's an interesting thing, hopping back to your students now, is that in the arts too, how it's always been so fragile, you know, the ability to work as a performer. But now this has got to be a whole other level of scary because, you know, wow, I mean, our whole industry's been out of work for over a year. Yeah.
It's like existential.
It
Because
is.
especially when you're young, I think, when you're like 18 to 22 window, you're just so passionate, and it does subsume your identity. You know, whether as like consciously as you try, it's like, I'm not, but it does. And then when the thing's not happening.
Yeah. Who are you?
The students at Elon, though, they've been tremendous.
Again, I think there is always value in you know, learning lessons no matter what life throws you, and of course, you know, we have to be thankful that we have our health, and ultimately I'm thankful that we've been able to continue to do this theater and pivot the way that we have. But yeah, I mean, the identity piece about not being able to do the work, and I think it's a great thing for artists to learn, because I was just giving some advice the other day on a Zoom call that, you know, what makes you a good actor and a good performer is being a human and living your life and not just being so consumed by the arts and being in a dark theater your whole life, but going out there living and making connections with people and having relationships and traveling once we can do that again. But, you know, like living your human life, because that's what you will ultimately bring on stage. And maybe that's the one good thing for these up and coming artists, is that they'll have lived some really intense life and they're gonna have that to offer.
I agree.
I think so.
And just other skills, other ways of telling stories.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Other ways of making art. It's nuts what they can what they can do.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, we're going to hear more from Dan in a moment, and he's going to be singing for us. I cannot wait for you to hear him. So don't go away, because we have all kinds of fun in store for you tonight, okay? But I'm also going to bring out a performer. I'm sure he doesn't think of himself as, but when I first met this man, we sang a duet together at Broughton High School. So he's a performer at heart, but now he spends his days giving people financial advice. And he has also added to his resume, he has founded Bull and Bear Brew, and we're going to talk all about that. Here's a video to show you what it's all about.
Hello, I'm Jason Steele, one of the founders of Bull and Bear Brew Coffee. Our mission is to teach great financial words and life advice one sip at a time. Knowledge is power, and by joining us, you're fueling your future. Why it matters? Financial literacy will help you make better informed decisions, help you budget, save, and spend your money wisely. Pick up a bag of our brew, scan the QR code, and learn something new each day, and then drink what makes you savvy.
Drink what makes you savvy. I love it. How'd you come up with that line?
So, kind of where it was formed. We were, I'd been at Starbucks. I had been waiting for a client, and I was over at Cameron Village by our alma mater, Baldwin High School. And I was sitting there going, I can't get a seat. There's nowhere to sit. The place was packed.
Right.
And it wasn't packed with adults like you and I.
It was all college students and high schoolers.
College and high school.
Yeah.
And every high school kid I was watching,
Drinking coffee.
Drinking coffee, drinking, eating
chai
$10
latte.
worth of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
And on a caffeine high. And so as I left, someone asked me in the parking lot where I ran into, and they said, Steele got a good stock tip. And I went, Starbucks, look at this place, it's packed. I said, if these kids only knew they could invest in stock, maybe their habit would be supported by a dividend. So the thought came to me going home.
Get
Drink
out.
what makes you savvy.
I love that.
So drink what makes you savvy, you know, kind of learn something new. And so as I got home, my own kids started to ask me about simple interest and compound interest.
Whoa.
You know, he's doing math. He was in 8th grade.
I love
and,
it.
We started to sit down and say, let me teach you a couple of things. Well, guess what? He didn't want to learn. He didn't want, I mean, if I was a professional football player, he'd want to learn.
Sure, of course,
you
yes.
know, But in the money management business, he was not interested in what I did at all.
Sure.
And so I told him that I would like to start a coffee and hot chocolate company.
You got him in hot chocolate, probably.
We got him in the hot chocolate. And all my kids drink it.
I love it.
And it's been great.
That's
It's been
so
great.
cool, Jason. That is so exciting. And I think like the fact that you were at Starbucks and you were like, first of all, people are spending a lot of money if you put this in the bank, and or you put it into even a low yield something that you know you're going to be able to save so much money. I just think that's so interesting because people don't really know what they're spending on.
They don't know what they're spending on, and in fact, I mean, when you go in there and they have all these different drinks, you know, that you can kind of hit your card with it. I just blew me away that for the average person, I sat there and counted one day, like $11,
Yes,
$12,
yeah.
$13,
Yeah.
and half the cup is probably empty.
Sure.
You know, or half full, you know, in their car. So we decided, hey, to come up with something. So I started.
There it is.
The Bull and Bear Brew.
Bull and Bear Brew.
Bull and Bear Brew. Now, this is what's funny. Even my kids don't know this, you know, and I'm not sure how many do, but they don't realize bull market,
Yep.
stock market's going up.
Yeah.
Bear market,
Down.
bear market's going down.
Yeah.
And so we began to teach my kid, or my 3 boys, I have 3 boys, Granville, Fletcher, and Macaulay. We began to teach them as I drink coffee in the morning these financial terms.
I love it
Because
so much.
once they go to school, they're gone.
Yeah.
And so we started to talk about these terms. And of course, when GameStop went to the roof, that was great for everybody. to kind of talk
Because
about.
everybody knew what to talk
Everybody
about.
knew what to talk
I love
about.
it.
So, yeah. So we have a couple brands that we have designed. One brand is a bold. I've learned a lot of new things between bold, medium, and light roast.
Okay, I was going to say
And so-
blonde, but that's
yeah,
a Starbucks
blonde.
term.
But it's a quiz. I'll just ask you a quiz. I didn't know this until I started getting out into the coffee, is that I thought bold meant lots of caffeine, be on the high.
Yeah, it's just
Is-
it's flavor though.
Yes, and as much as you know me in energy, I mean, I was like, I can never have the bold.
Yeah, right.
So I always went light. And my heart
Interesting.
would just flutter. I'm like, man, this is crazy. So light roast actually has the most caffeine because it's roasted the least.
Aha.
And bold has the least caffeine because it's roasted the most.
Interesting.
And so I learned all that. And so,
Interesting.
yeah.
I did not know that either. Because you think about like, oh, well, you know, cappuccino is like the, you know, the espresso
It's
bean.
the espresso bean, which is lightly roasted.
I
So,
see. Okay.
yeah,
Got
yeah,
it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so fascinating. Well, I'm learning something new, not only about financial terms, but
It's-
also about coffee.
It's about coffee.
I mean, so you've done sort of the deep dive in learning about coffee and how you can sort of brand this and sort of help with financial literacy, really.
And life decisions. So, you know, bull market also, we kind of, as I talk to my boys, I mean, be a bull. Make a bold decision today, please.
Yeah.
They get out of the car, love you, Dad. Hey, make a bold decision. Don't make a bear decision. I don't want to have the phone ring.
Right.
You know, and so, I mean, as little as make your bed, hey, be kind to somebody else.
Yeah.
Invite somebody over. Sit with the kid who's not having anybody sitting with them.
In other words, take action.
Take action. Take action and just, you know, be a bull in life.
Yeah.
You know, and so some of the bear decisions we've had plenty in our household. I'm not sure if you've had in yours. So we get a chance to teach and be a parent.
Sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
But we came up with great terms. Like this is a bowl we talked about. This is Black Monday. And so I began talking to the boys about 1987. The stock market made its first really big crash where it fell 20% in one day.
Yeah.
Not a year, a day. Trillions of dollars washed out. So we basically began talking about, you know, how many Black Mondays we've had in the last, you know, 20 years.
Yeah.
And it's not making your bed after a great weekend. It's a Black Monday.
Yeah.
And then we've had other things. This is dead cat bounce. No, we don't want to eat a cat. But dead cat bounce is a financial term. It's actually one of my favorites to use. It's when a stock is falling. It'll rally back up and then continue falling because even they say dead cats drop them high enough, will still bounce.
Oh, God.
So, you know, on the side of our bag, which is kind of really neat, you see this QR code.
Yeah.
So my sons and I, we make videos. You've actually helped me with some, and we make terms, and so every day we change it. Because every day you drink a cup of coffee, so every day
Yeah.
we're teaching something.
I love
And
that.
then we've got a decaf, and then we've got an unprecedented light roast, and then we just came out with cold brew.
I love. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a new venture coming out in May.
So is it like bottled already, or is it?
We actually
You actually brew it.
we
and
actually
bottled
brew it and we bottle it, and
Wow.
it's called Cold Feet.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's about all the times you got cold feet for not investing in the market,
Yes.
and then the market continues to go back up.
And you're like,
so
I should have.
They should have done
I
that.
should have invested in
should have had
GameStop.
it. You know, only at 400 it was cheap.
I know, right?
So
I
those
mean,
are all
it's
things.
a lot. It's hard to keep up with, though. You know, if you're somebody who's not really spent a lot of time, watching the market, how would you suggest that somebody kind of doesn't do the deep dive, but just like a nice shallow end kind of,
Could get started.
breaststroke to get started?
So the biggest thing we always look about is don't be afraid to learn.
Okay.
You know, and we kind of shy away from it.
Yeah,
And
of course,
so
you're like, I don't know.
Most people are like, I'm not going to do anything, so I'm just going to get my credit card. I'm just going to spend and move on. And we're like, don't be afraid. There's budgeting for dummies. You know, we're all that way.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm a big believer of just start with a little.
Okay.
You know, start with, hey, if I can save $3 on a bag of coffee, or I can, brew my coffee at home versus $10 at Starbucks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
daily. So a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that $100 a month saved over 30 years,
Yeah.
I mean, it really ends up being
does add up.
hundreds of thousands of dollars over a lifetime.
Yeah.
And so you have to start small. And then as you start making budgets and you start getting ahead of yourself, you just amp it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And that budget begins, and then you don't overspend.
Yeah.
Live within your means.
Yep.
And so those are some of the bold decisions that we try to make as we
Just
go
like
forward.
squirreling away a little bit every month to sort of put into some kind of account that has a nice return.
And we call it pay yourself first.
Ah.
Pay yourself first. Pay
Okay.
yourself first. You're your own enemy, and when you don't. And so for artists like Dan,
Yeah.
I mean, he works at a school, but what if? I mean, I feel for these artists today for
Yeah.
the last year. They have not been able to perform.
Yeah, it's been really tough.
It's been really tough, and so those folks we have to reach out to. We have to be able to. I mean, I'll make gifts honestly, but in reality, they haven't planned for this.
Well, and because of the fits and starts of the way show business works, it's tricky. And what's really been hard is that some people are covered by a union. Some people have done Broadway shows or have worked, that happen to have worked the 10 weeks before the pandemic, so they were eligible for unemployment. A lot of people were not. And so many people are not getting these stimulus packages who are artists
And then
because
what
they weren't
happens?
working. So what happens? They have to do something else. They have to,
They go back to a career they didn't want to do, or
Exactly.
they're waiting at a coffee shop, or
Exactly,
they're
yeah.
babysitting, and
Exactly.
things, and they lose the dream that they've created for.
I mean, one of the things that I've already said that we've known each other for a long time. One of the things that you helped me with early on when I started my career was when I went out on tour, to put money away every week, part of my paycheck away every week. It was the best advice and the best thing that I ever did for myself, because I came off that year tour and I had a nice chunk.
You did, and we reverse budgeted.
We did reverse budget. You want to tell us what that means?
Yeah, so reverse budgeting is we go back and we make a list of what our monthly expenses are.
Yeah.
And we made all the monthly expenses, call it $3,000
Yep.
a month, and rent and things like that. And so we put that in a side account. So when the tour ended, you
Yep.
continue to pay yourself a paycheck.
Exactly.
You know.
It was so
And-
good.
And it went for 8 or 9 months. For you, it went for 6 weeks, because you can always get a job out of it.
Well, I don't know about that, but no, that was incredibly helpful, and it really helped me on that sort of track of knowing that I'll go through a period of time where I'm not going to be making anything, so I know that I have this helping me cover all my bases, so to speak.
Well, you were a fabulous saver.
Well, thank you very much, Jason.
You
I
drank what
appreciate
made
it.
you savvy early on.
I guess I did. Now, what I'd love to see happen with Bull and Bear is, it's as marketable as something like Starbucks, where people really do, there is that thing where I feel like the only reason people drink Starbucks is because the cup is cute. You know what I mean? It's very much an image thing. Like, the coffee's great too, sure, it's convenient and all that kind of stuff, but I love what you're doing with Bull and Bear Brew. I love the marketing stuff you're doing. I love the way it looks. And hopefully, I know you're already represented in other places in Raleigh, right? You have,
We are. We're at
stocked.
the Butcher's Market.
Butcher's Market,
has
right?
picked us up. We're remember Briggs Hardware? used to be in Raleigh?
Absolutely,
So
Briggs.
Evelyn has moved down to Emerald Isle, and she has opened up Briggs Gift Shop.
Okay.
And there's a coffee bar in there,
Amazing.
and we are the coffee.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so this whole summer, starting up in about 3 weeks, will be the entire Bull and Bear Brew coffee. Drink what makes you savvy. Come get a sweatshirt, t-shirt, sun shirt.
That's so cool.
We'll be serving coffee. And the boys will be learning to budget. My boys will be learning to budget.
And to work,
and to
maybe
work.
even?
Getting gift baskets and things like that.
That's great.
I was going to tell you, so this is also something neat for you.
Do I get it?
It is. This is like,
I love
the
gifts.
merchandise. And so what we did is we researched back to when cats made their sweatshirts. And so it's the big, soft cat sweatshirts, since they're not longer in business. We figured just pretend this is the cat's sweatshirt, how big and thick it is with the Bull and Bear brand.
I love it.
My middle son, Fletcher, is all with the clothing.
Yeah, he's got the hat.
He's
and
got
whole
the hat and
thing.
the clothing and the look, and so we can also get those online.
Can I
and they're
just also
in white.
say, yes, check it out. Is it Bull and Bear Brew?
bullandbearbrew.com.
Check it out, you guys. Now, everybody in the theater is also going to realize that this is very reminiscent of a comedy tragedy situation.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? So I think we should be selling Bull and Bear Brew here at Theater Raleigh, too, when our coffee bar opens up. How about that?
One sip at a time.
I love it so much. Well, I'm so glad you're here. Please don't leave, because I've got a financial trivia game to play with both Jason and Dan. I did throw in some musical theater things for you, just to see if you remembered anything from your time as the Theater Raleigh board chair.
Oh, goodness. By the way, since I've gotten off the chair, look at this place.
What have I
mean,
done?
You've gone from like a shoebox where I ran, all of a sudden, wham! I mean, we're in the behemoth.
Well, it's desperate times,
beautiful.
desperate measures. Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. As you know, when you were the chairman of the board, we always dreamed about getting our own space.
Yes, I did.
So we're just now seeing it come to fruition.
And you're doing
But
a
anyway,
great
we're
job.
going to talk more with Jason later. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for quite a treat. Dan Callaway is here to sing a couple songs. Take it away, Dan.
Yes, she looks for me. Good. Let her look for me to tell me why she left me, as I always knew she would. I had thought she understood. They have never understood, and no reason that they should. But if anybody could, finishing the hat, how you have to finish the hat, how you watch the rest of the world from a window while you finish the hat, mapping out a sky, what you feel like planning a sky, what you feel when voices that come through the window go until they distance and die, until there's nothing but sky. And how you're always turning back too late from the grass or the stick or the dog or the light. How the kind of woman willing to wait's not the kind that you want to find waiting to return you to the night. Dizzy from the height, coming from the hat, studying the hat, entering the world of the hat, reaching through the world of the hat like a window, back from this one to that, studying a face, stepping back to look at a face, leaves a little space in the way, like a window, but to see, it's the only way to see. And when the woman that you wanted goes, you can say to yourself, well, I give what I give. But the woman who won't wait for you knows that however you live, there's a part of you always standing by, mapping out a sky. Finishing a hat, starting on a hat, finishing a hat. Look, I made a hat where there never was a hat. Keep having a phantom glasses feeling on my head from putting your glasses on to not fog up your mask. And so I was like, are my glasses on my head? And they're not. They just feel like it. So thank you for that. So as we talked about, today is Mr. Sondheim's 91st birthday. So yes, so I realized on the way over here that the songs that I chose today were kind of part of my super cool high school Datsun 280ZX CD player playlist. Yeah, so that was one of them, Finishing the Hat. I mean, I was really popular in high school with that selection. So, but anyway, Stephen Sondheim's musicals obviously are, not obviously, but they are a major reason why I chose to pursue musical theater. The next song will be A Bit of Earth from The Secret Garden, which also featured on that playlist. A bit of earth. She wants a little bit of earth. She'll plant some seeds. The seeds will grow. The flowers bloom, but is their bounty what she needs? How can she chance to love a little bit of earth? Does she not know the earth is old and doesn't care if one small girl wants things to grow? She needs a friend. She needs a father, brother, sister, mother's arms. She needs to laugh. She needs to dance and learn to work her girlish charms. She needs a home. The only thing she really needs I cannot give. Instead, she asks a bit of earth to make it live. She should have a pony, gallop across the moor. She should have a doll's house with 100 rooms per floor. Why can't she ask for a treasure? Something that money can buy, that won't die. When I give her the world, she asks instead for some earth, a bit of earth. She wants a little bit of earth. She'll plant some seeds. The seeds will grow. The flowers bloom, their beauty just the thing she needs. She'll grow to love the tender roses, lilies fair, the iris tall. And then in fall, her bit of earth will freeze and kill them all. A bit of earth, a bit of earth, a bit of earth, a bit of And coming up next, also part of the playlist, this is Pity the Child from Chess. This is one of, I just love this score, and I love this song. I hope you enjoy. When I was 9, I learned survival, taught myself not to care. I was my single good companion, taking my comfort there. Up in my room, I planned my conquests on my own, never asked for a helping hand. no one would understand. I never asked the pair who fought below, just in case they said no. Pity the child who has ambition, knows what he wants to do, knows that he'll never fit the system others expect him to. Pity the child who knew his parents, saw their faults, saw their love die before his eyes. Pity a child that wise. He never asked, did I cause your distress? Just in case they said yes. When I was 12, my father moved out, left with a whimper, not with a shout. I never missed him, he made it perfectly clear. I was a fool and probably queer. Fool that I was, I thought this would bring those he had left closer together. She made her move the moment he walked away. I was the last the woman told. She never let her bed get cold. Someone moved in, I shut my door. Someone to treat her just the same way as before. I took the road of least resistance. I had my game to play. I had the skill and more the hunger, easy to get away. Pity the child with no such weapons, no defense, no escape from the ties that bind. Always a step behind. I never called to tell her all I'd done. I was only her son. Pity the child, but not forever, not if he stays that way. He can get all he ever wanted if he's prepared to pay. Pity instead the careless mother, what she missed, what she lost when she let me go. And I wonder, does she know? A crazy thing to do, just in case she said,
to join you. Oh my God, Dan, let's do a chess concert. Come on.
It's a great idea. Let's do it.
Oh my God. I'm way too old to play that part, but oh, I loved it. I was like driving around in my Ford Bronco doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. You want to sing? Are you ready? What do you got prepared? Come on. I've heard you sing. You got the skills. Jay, amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Wright on the piano. And of course, Dan Callaway, just absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Incredible. Okay, so let's play a fun game. Are you ready to do that? I was thinking it would be fun to do a financial sort of trivia game. So,
Okay.
Jason, you better get
I know.
these right.
If I
Otherwise,
miss one, then it's bad on me. You know, I need to buy some coffee.
and get savvy.
And savvy.
Okay, they're random questions. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know if you'll get them, but I'm going to look really smart because I've got the answers.
You're
Okay.
Alex.
All right. The
I'm
basics.
totally Alex.
Bless
I
you,
know.
Alex.
Bless.
Is there
rest
like
in
a
peace.
buzzer? Maybe-
No, I'll just
Okay.
look at you.
Okay.
And anybody who has the answer, including our tech
So
team,
look away?
if you know what the answer is, scream it out, okay? Where was the first ATM installed? What city? What city was the first ATM installed? I'm going to give you 4 choices. Do
Okay.
you need them?
Okay.
Do you need them? D.C., Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, Atlanta, or New York City?
I would say New York City. I'm glad you're not.
You would be right.
Yeah,
New York City. Ding, 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 ding,
Mega
ding.
capital of money of the world.
Absolutely. And do you know what bank it was?
Bank of America.
No,
Chase.
that would have been L.A.
Oh.
It's, well,
Citibank.
No, it became Chase, though. Chemical Bank.
What?
Chemical Bank in 1969, the first ATM. Isn't that
wow.
crazy?
I wasn't
Dang.
born yet.
All right. The first Bitcoins were created in what year? January 2007, January of 2009, March 2009, or March 2007? Take a guess.
If I remember this from, I think it was March of 2009 after the correction.
Well, it was 2009. You're half right, but it was January.
It was January. I wouldn't remember the month.
I
mean, I
It
can't
is
remember
March
my
now,
kids'
so-
birthdays, you know,
It wasn't March Madness. It was actually a new year.
Okay, well, am I half right? Do I
You're
get half
doing,
credit?
yeah. You
I
get
half credit?
totally half credit.
Okay, half
You have
credit.
0 prize, so
Yeah.
zero, half of 0 is 0. So you know. Okay, when your debit card is stolen, there is a blank number that stops people from purchasing items.
I'm gonna let Dan. Dan, you
What
gotta
is
know
it?
this
What's
one.
the number on your debit card? What's it called?
You mean the CV?
No.
Oh wait.
The
Oh, the pin. Oh yeah.
It's
PI,
your
yeah.
PIN number. Did you like my clue?
Thank you.
Now everybody knows what my code is. Okay, online banking is not called virtual banking, e-banking, Star Trek banking, or internet banking.
Star Trek.
Star Trek banking.
Bring me up.
What if I said it was Star Trek banking?
Star-
No, it's not.
well,
You're
no,
right.
I
You
would
got it
believe you.
right.
I'd believe
Okay.
you.
By 1971, there were how many ATMs installed in the country? 500, 1,000,
In 2 years,
3,000?
Dan. In 2 years.
What are
Yeah.
our choices?
Yeah, in 2 years, you have 500, 1,000, 2,564, or 3,000. Like,
2,564.
no, that's wrong.
Oh, you're
It was a
kidding
trick
me.
question.
I'll go with
An
500.
even number? They had an even number? And
An even
what
number.
month?
I don't know the month. Listen, on quiz.com, it didn't tell me what month, but it did tell me that there were 1,000. 1,000 ATMs. Even Steven. Well, that's what it said on the interweb. So I'm going to believe it because I believe everything on the internet.
It's real if it's there.
It is real. What represents your small business's obligations to pay debts owed to lenders, suppliers, and creditors? Is it a liability? Is it a debt? Is it accounts receivable? Or is it accounts payable?
That one. Accounts payable.
Hey, look at you.
Right?
Dan, you got it right? Yes.
I ran a small business in Los Angeles. I remember that part.
Well played, well played. Okay, who wrote the musical In the Heights?
Dan?
You got this.
Starts with an M?
Well, there's an M in the word, yeah. There's a couple M's.
Mario Stevens?
Nope. Oh my God, this is my favorite moment I've ever had on stage ever.
No, it's,
Nope, that was not even close.
Marty
Nope.
McFly?
Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone say it together. 1, 2, 3.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
See?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Didn't he also write Hamilton?
He sure did. That's right.
Did you say that already?
No.
No, okay, well, I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that. I saw my sweatshirt.
It's like your sweatshirt?
Yeah, we're on the same sweatshirt that he buys, I buy.
Really?
Yeah, same fabric and everything.
Cats and
Yeah,
Hamilton?
and Hamilton.
Well, then you know it's a hit.
Yeah, we
you
do.
know
We-
it's a hit with that
honestly,
pedigree.
yeah.
All right, name the 3 tenors. You got
Oh.
this. You got
Soprano,
this.
alto, and
The 3 tenors are
Not SATB.
Oh.
Hush.
are
You got
Luciano
this.
Pavarotti,
That's the one.
Jose Carreras,
Yep.
and Placido Domingo.
Yes! I knew I could count on you. Who?
Enrique.
Iglesias?
No.
Ricky Martin, not him either. Okay, who wrote the award-winning score to Waitress the Musical? Who wants to say that? Jason?
I'm
No?
not looking.
She also wrote a song called Love Song. She also wrote a song called Gravity. She's a pop singer.
Ariana Grande?
No, well, no. Good guess, though.
I'm in the finance world.
Who is it?
Sarah Bareilles.
Sarah Bareilles, yes. Okay, and last but not least, this is just a question about who you are as a human being, and I'm going to go around the room. Are you an Elphaba or a Glinda?
Galinda.
Galinda, yes, Jay. Galinda, are you an Elphaba?
I would be a Glinda.
You would. You're just saying that because he said it. Because you have no idea what I'm talking about. All right, Charlie. That is putting your wife on the spot.
How about Elsa or
Okay,
Anna?
I could be Elsa or Anna.
Elsa
Eric?
or Anna? Can I do that one?
Glinda, Allison, Glinda. Wow. Oh, well, I'm an Elphaba for sure, and I'm pretty sure my husband is too.
I think so too.
Very strong, and we both like to fly. So there it is. Well, that was our game, ladies and gentlemen.
It was great.
Random trivia. Was it great?
It was amazing.
I had a good time. All right,
great.
ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get to hear Dan Callaway sing one more song. What are you singing?
To Make You Feel My Love by Bob Dylan.
Oh, was that a part of the playlist? What I
Not
heard?
then, actually, no.
And by the way, was the playlist on a CD or a
CD. There wasn't even a
cassette?
playlist. They were separate CDs.
Oh yeah, you
Like,
had
I
them
would-
like on
yeah.
your like visor. You pulled them out and put it in. Awesome.
I had a whole-
Jason and I were listening to cassette tapes, so
Yeah, we were.
We
That,
literally
I moved
were.
up. The yellow Mustang had a cassette player, but the Datsun, I had a CD player.
And we were
installed
burning
with
and
that.
swapping them.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here he is to sing for you, Dan Callaway.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I would offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, there is no one there to dry your tears, I would hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. happy, make your dreams come true. Nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love, make you feel my love.
Gorgeous, amazing. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you so much for singing and sharing your beautiful talent with us tonight.
My pleasure.
And thank you, Jay Wright, as well.
Thanks, Jay.
And thank you, Jason. Come on back out here. Thank you so much for being with us tonight and talking to us about Bull and Bear Brew. Check out bullandbearbrew.com to drink what makes you savvy. I'm really excited about that venture for him. That's so cool. And thank you, Charley Brady, Allison Hopfer, Eric Collins, and Trey Carr. Thank you guys so much for everything you do to make these broadcasts awesome. Listen, on Sunday, we have Broadway star Tony nominee Norm Lewis is going to be with me chatting and talking all about his life and career. I'm so excited. Norm and I did Sideshow together years ago, so I cannot wait to catch up with him. He's an incredible artist, amazing singer. Oh my God. And then next on Living Room Live, we have Raleigh's own Carly Grissom will be with us, and Jay Wright will be on the piano as well. So we're really, really excited to have Carly. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for spending this hour with us tonight. Please stay safe, wear your mask. If you're eligible for a vaccine, do that so we can all gather in a theater together very, very, very soon. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much and have a good evening. Bye, y'all.